Ready to have some fun in the kitchen today? We are making homemade Thin Mint cookies that will blow your mind. I am obsessed with these cookies. They are so good, gluten-free, totally delicious. Let's get baking. It's time for some fun in the kitchen. Today we are making homemade Thin Mint cookies, and these are the bomb, as my teenage self would say. My version is better than that green box that you can get from the Girl Scouts. I guarantee it. They are gluten-free and so dang delicious. These cookies are mixed together in one bowl, baked and then covered in a dark chocolate peppermint coating. And I tested this recipe 10 to 12 times to get it perfect. And I had my good friend Irma and her daughter help out with the taste testing, so I know these are awesome and these are definitely a win. Once you try these, you will never buy Thin Mints again. I decided to come up with this recipe because I absolutely love Thin Mints and I wanted a healthier and cheaper version that I could have any time of the year, not just when a Girl Scout comes knocking at my door. To make our crisp cookie center, we're gonna start with almond flour. It's 1.5 cups. And these cookies are gluten-free, so if that matters to you, that's awesome. And if not, trust me, they are just delicious. So here we go. I have a 1/2 cup here, so we'll do 3 of them. 1.5 cups of almond flour, and then 1/4 cup of cocoa. Right in. 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and you could sub cornstarch if you wanted to here. And then a pinch of salt. You grab a whisk. Whisk up your dry. Sometimes the almond flour can have a few little lumpies in there. Whisk that together. That looks good. Now, butter. I have 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're gonna cut the butter in. You can use a fork. I have a pastry blender here. But unlike making biscuits where you want like those pea-sized pieces of butter, we want it even smaller. Because, as I've learned in my recipe testing, when you do bigger chunks of butter, it just doesn't work in these cookies. I keep breaking these up here. That's why I used such a big bowl. That's looking good. It should look like little cookie crumbles. Now, these are sweetened with a nice natural sweetener, maple syrup, 4 tablespoons. Then mix that in before you add your water. Now, I'm in Colorado, high altitude. Things are a little bit drier, so you may not need the full tablespoon of water. No, it's gonna come together nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna add my tablespoon of water, our peppermint extract. This is what makes them their Thin Mints. It is 3/4 teaspoon. Give that a mix. Here's the key. We're gonna wrap this in some plastic wrap, or you could put it in a Tupperware, whatever you like, and pop it into the fridge. And just by cooling it down, it helps firm up our dough and makes it way easier to roll out. So I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna put it in the fridge for 15 minutes, then we'll get to rolling. Disc into the fridge. Now it's time to roll. You wanna get about a 2-inch cutter. I've got this little biscuit cutter, but also a shot glass would work well too. And just that time in the fridge helped firm it up. This is a pretty sticky dough, so you wanna make rolling as smooth as possible. Take a piece of parchment or a piece of plastic wrap is what I'm gonna use. Put that over top and then roll. We're gonna roll it to between 1/4 and an 1/8 inch thick. There you go. And if it sticks a little, just use a butter knife to help you lift it onto the tray and keep going. Now the key is to keep your little cuts as close as possible so you do less re-rolls. Let's look at the nutrition. The Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies are 4 cookies per serving, so that is what we're comparing. The Girl Scout Thin Mints have 160 calories, where our homemade version has 155, so they're very similar. Let's keep looking. Sugar, there's 11 grams of sugar in the Girl Scout Thin Mints, and then our version has just 6 grams of sugar, and they're naturally sweetened with maple syrup. Sodium, there's 115 milligrams in the Girl Scouts version, and just 19 milligrams in ours. Fat, 7 grams in the Girl Scouts, and 12 grams in ours, but it's because we're using almond flour and it has those healthy, good for you fats. Carbohydrates, there's 23 grams in the Girl Scout Thin Mints and just 11 grams in our homemade version. Fiber, the Girl Scouts say less than 1 gram, and that's just to show that there's a teensy tiny bit of fiber. Our homemade version has 3 grams. And then another difference, protein, there's just 1 gram in the Girl Scout Thin Mints, and our homemade version has 4 grams. Now it's time to make our chocolate peppermint coating. Got a cup of dark chocolate chips, 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. I'm gonna microwave it and then give it a stir. Got our lovely melty chocolate coating. Then we're gonna dip our cookies, pop it onto our tray, and then this goes in the freezer to firm up. Let the excess kind of drip off and then onto your tray. Now we're gonna keep going. Our homemade Thin Mints have been in the freezer for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna grab them, we're gonna stack them up, and then we get to eat. Oh. If you used a Silpat, they peel right off. It's so easy. And they look just like the Girl Scout version. So I'm gonna stack them up here. These homemade Thin Mint cookies are seriously good. They have a crisp cookie center. Look at that. With a delicious chocolate coating and the perfect hint of mint, and they're totally gluten-free. And now that you are in cookie mode, head right on over to my homemade Samoa cookies video next and see how I take just 4 ingredients and turn them into the best naturally sweetened homemade Samoa cookies. Or check out this other video I've got for you too. So thanks so much for joining me in the kitchen today. I'm gonna get these packed up for my kiddos and myself and my husband because we all love these. I'm gonna keep mine in the freezer. I love Thin Mints in the freezer. You can also keep them in the fridge in an airtight container. And I'm probably going to enjoy 1 or 2 or 3 while I'm doing that. So today I am definitely going to eat well, be well, thrive. Cheers. And they're totally gluten-free. Because I hate using it. Oh my God, I just made another mess.